Evie's workshop.
Kofi was the finest fisherman in Jamestown, not for his wealth, but for his sheer talent. Every morning, his canoe, though old, danced with the waves, and his nets rarely came back empty. Kofi's true treasure, however, was Alma, the daughter of chief market trader Ofori. Ofori was a giant of a man, not in size, but in influence. He owned the biggest stall, controlled the price of fish, and saw his daughter, Alma, as a jewel meant to cement his family's growing status. Alma, unlike her father, had a quiet, artistic soul. She loved to watch the fishermen return, especially Kofi, whose rhythmic movements mirrored the beautiful complexity of the sea. Kofi and Alma often stole moments together behind the bustling market stalls. Their conversation carried by the scent of salt and dried fish. Ofori, however, had noticed. One day, he found them together and his face darkened like a gathering storm. "Kofi!" Ofori roared, towering over the young man. "You are a good worker, yes, but you are a poor man with nothing but debt and a leaky canoe. My daughter is meant for a man who can offer gold, not just sweat. Stay away from Alma, or you will never touch my nets again." Ofori immediately forbade Alma from setting foot near the docks. Kofi felt the heavy weight of his poverty for the first time. He realized he could not compete with the wealthy traders Ofori favored. He had to find a way to impress Ofori, not with gold, but with the one thing Jamestown valued more than money: spirit and artistry. Kofi remembered the old ways. He couldn't afford a gift of gold, so he fashioned a gift from his heart. He spent his meager savings on the finest, aged wood and leather he could find and began to build a talking drum, Dondo. He carved into it symbols of the sea, resilience, and patience. When the drum was finally finished, Kofi stood before Ofori's home during the busy evening market. He did not speak. He did not beg. He began to play. Kofi's rhythm was not just music, it was a story. He played the beat of the hardworking fisherman, the rhythm of the waves, the song of his deep, true love for Alma, and the song of his deep, true love for Alma, and the silent challenge to Ofori. The drum was so powerful and moving that the market chatter died down. Traders and customers stopped to listen. Ofori, standing on his porch, was furious, but he couldn't deny the masterful skill. He marched down, ready to silence Kofi. "What is this nonsense?" Ofori spat. "It is the sound of my worth, Chief Ofori," Kofi replied, his voice firm. "You asked for gold, I offer you the rhythm of this entire market. I will play a song for Alma every night for 7 nights. If you can stop the people from listening, or if you can find a richer man who can move the people as I can, I will leave Jamestown forever." Ofori, competitive and proud, accepted the challenge, convinced he could easily crush the poor fisherman's spirit. For 6 nights, Kofi played. And for 6 nights, the market gathered. The wealthy traders Ofori hired to distract the crowds failed miserably. Their loud, off-key music was ignored. Kofi played the heartbeat of the community, their struggles, their joys, their faith. On the 7th night, Ofori tried his last desperate move. He dragged Alma out to the porch and stood next to her, glaring at Kofi, hoping his physical intimidation would stop the music. Kofi saw Alma's face, her fear, but also the love in her eyes. He played his final song. It wasn't loud or demanding, it was soft, intimate, and deeply sorrowful, a rhythm of parting. The people in the market began to weep, moved by the depth of emotion. Ofori suddenly felt ashamed, not because he was defeated, but because the song made him realize he had lost something: his daughter's true happiness. He looked at Alma, who was openly crying, her gaze fixed entirely on Kofi, not on the gold or the status he had offered her. Ofori let go of Alma's arm. Alma ran down the steps and embraced Kofi, right there in the middle of the silent, watching market. The crowd erupted not in cheers, but in a long, sustained note of agreement. Ofori sighed, defeated by true emotion. "The song is louder than the gold," he muttered. "A poor man you remain, Kofi, but you are a wealthy man of the spirit. Marry my daughter. But understand this, you will earn every fish, every coin, and every moment of her life with that same honest spirit." Kofi and Alma were married. Kofi never became the richest man in Jamestown, but his fishing stall and his music were the heart of the market, proving that the value of a person is measured by the beauty and integrity they bring into the world, not by the wealth they possess.